Hey everyone, welcome back to TYP. It's Megan again. I just wanted to make a really quick video because I just had a friend ask me who's going for first infusion therapy if I had any advice. So let me share some advice just for those going through infusion treatments. And this can be chemotherapy, but it doesn't have to be chemotherapy. There's a lot more drugs on the market right now that are infusion drugs, which is being hooked up to an IV bag, right? And sitting in a chair for a little while and waiting. Basically having chemicals streaming through your bloodstream. So it's not the most fun thing in the world, but you'll get through it. So some short pieces of advice for you if you are going through infusion therapy for the first time or you just started. And I'll reiterate this. Listen to your nurses. The nurses that are in your infusion room have so much good advice. I really credit my nurses, especially in the beginning, for keeping me alive for the first few months of my therapy, and my treatment, because they have really, really good advice. They see so many people come through those doors and they see who gets better and who gets worse. So listen to your nurses and follow their advice. Which brings me to my second point. Your nurses are going to tell you to drink water, and they mean it. This is probably one of the hardest things, kind of, mundane things, drink water, right? And a lot of people are like, yeah, like how many times everyone tells me drink more water. But it's helpful, especially when you're in infusion therapy. It's really, really helpful. You need to stay hydrated, especially, being hydrated makes getting infusion therapy a lot easier. Your veins are a lot easier to find. People aren't going to poke you in the arm 72 times to try and find a vein. Or if you have a port, it makes your port work a little bit better. Being hydrated makes your body work better, period. So really drink water. Drink water. And infusion therapy is really hard on your body. And you need to be hydrated and you need to be nourished so that you can bounce back. You really do, because you're going to need it. You're really going to need it. And a lot of times, a lot of chemotherapies and a lot of infusion therapies, some of them can be hard on your stomach and your bladder and stuff like that. So they actually tell you have to drink water so that it flushes your system back out, so that you don't have chemicals sitting in a place that can cause damage, like your bladder and, your intestines and your stomach and stuff like that. Because sometimes, drugs can sit in there, cause damage, and you can get bleeding or, ruptures or stuff like that. So yeah, drink your water. Very, very important. This also really helps for nausea. Being hydrated greatly decreases nausea surrounding a lot of infusion therapies. And also a lot of chemotherapies, they give you a lot of drugs to counteract the nausea that can either give you diarrhea or make you constipated. And being hydrated combats both of those. So drink your water. Another tip is self-care in general. Take your vitamins, get your rest, relax. I found out fairly early on that my infusion therapies, I guess, were taking out a lot of kind of my essential vitamins and minerals. And I was finding that I was getting a lot of muscle pain, a lot of like leg cramps and foot cramps and stuff like that, muscle cramps in general. And when I did stuff like drank coconut water or Gatorade, coconut water is a little bit less junky than Gatorade, I guess. I took my vitamins. Made sure I had enough magnesium and potassium. It would greatly reduce my muscle pain, and my muscle aches. So take good care of yourself. Take your vitamins, get your rest, drink your water. for the days leading up to and the days immediately following your infusion therapy. Because a lot of times those drugs can really strip you of a lot of good things in your body, and you have to work hard to replenish that. So take good care of yourself. Another thing, another recommendation I have is bring entertainment with you and bring a backup. A lot of infusion rooms, and not all of them have TVs, which is nice, you know, especially if you have a long infusion. I had a 7 to 8 hour infusion when I first started chemotherapy. Now I have a 1 hour. It's greatly reduced. But what do you do for 7 or 8 hours? You know, some people they brought Kindles, laptops, tablets. Some people worked while they did infusion therapies. Some people played on their phones the whole time. But what I found out pretty quickly was that hospital Wi-Fi is not reliable and not great. So especially if you have a crowded day, you'll be doing something important on your phone or a laptop, and all of a sudden you'll have no connection. And sometimes that can last for the rest of your treatment. So if you're hour 2 into a 7 or 8 hour infusion cycle and the Wi-Fi goes out, what are you going to do? Bring backup. Bring a magazine. Bring a book. Bring something that's not dependent on Wi-Fi. And if they don't have a TV, even better. Yeah. Bring some magazines. Bring a book. A lot of times infusion therapy rooms will have some stuff like that, the good ones. But you never know. You really never know. And if it's a busy day, somebody else might have the book that you're reading, or, you know, the TV might be broken in your little station. So yeah, bring backup entertainment. You know, it's fine to play on your phone or your tablet all day or listen to music if they let you. You know, but have a backup just in case. And my last one is, if your doctor or your nurse recommends that you get a port, get a port. Not a doctor, don't take my advice, but follow your doctor and your nurse's instructions. A lot of times people ask me about my port almost more than anything else, which is really funny to me. I guess because it is a weird thing. And I was really freaked out about it at first too. But and I think I've mentioned this. A port is essentially they put a catheter into, I think it's an artery. I think it can also be a vein. I'm not sure. If you know, let me know. Shoot me a comment. But they put a catheter, I should say less. That's my New Year's resolution here. They put a catheter right into like an artery. It's usually in your chest, and some people have them in their arms now. Mine's over here in my chest. You can see it. There it is. There's my scar. And if I move, you can see it pop out here. Sorry if that grosses you out. But it took me a long time to get used to something poking out of my skin here. But there's a catheter behind this port going through my artery here. And a port comes out of that. And as you can see, it presses up against your skin. So this is like a little cylinder here at the end. And the way that they access it is they actually put a needle. And it doesn't hurt, actually. It can be sensitive at first, but after a while, you hardly feel it. Especially if you have a good nursing team. They do a great job. And it doesn't hurt at all. But they actually stick a needle from, outside your skin into your port access here. They like flush it out with saline. And that's how they deliver your infusion. And I have bad veins. And a lot of women have bad veins. That's what I've been told, at least. And even if you have good veins, if you get infusion therapy or you get a lot of blood taken over and over again, that scars your veins. It does. And scar tissue is really hard to get into. So if your doctor tells you to save your veins and consider getting a port, I highly recommend it because it's going to make your life a lot easier in the long run. After the recovery for a little port surgery like this, it's a quick little, kind of surgical procedure. I think I was awake for it. At least the first one. The second one was a little bit more involved because I had to take out a failed port and put in a new one. But it's quick. It's in and out. You heal generally pretty quick from them. If you have enough white blood cells and so on and so forth. And it is a little bit weird, especially when you feel it. It does freak me out to touch it sometimes, but I've gotten really, really used to it. I really have. And, I can't imagine every week or every 2 weeks now just getting my blood drawn through my arms or, what have you, like I used to. It just is a lot more uncomfortable. And, you'll notice that the more people fiddle around with your veins, the more things happen. Like, you get veins that blow out when they take your blood, or they do infusions, or people can't find a vein, or your veins roll. And then, they're like digging around in there. Ugh, it's terrible. So, if your doctor or your nurse recommends getting a port, go for it. I highly recommend it. It's going to make your life a lot easier. And that's all I have. If you have any advice, any other tips to add, please comment on any of our platforms or send me an email, terminallyetpurposeful@gmail.com. And I will be happy to share those, because that's what we're about, is community where we can share our stories and our advice and what have you. So thanks for tuning in. Little short video tonight. And do something nice for yourself. Take care of yourself today. And have a great week. And enjoy your January, right? Bye. Thank you.